During the heavy rain, my husband detoured to take his young assistant home. Ignoring the fact that I was 6 months pregnant, I proposed a divorce as soon as I walked in the door. Hearing my words, my exhausted husband said in disbelief, "Is it that serious just because you sat in the car a little longer?" Was it just a little longer? It was supposed to be a 10-minute drive home, but I was forced to watch the two of them flirting in the back seat for almost 2 hours. And my husband, who had been giving me the cold shoulder for 3 days because I took a sip of lemonade in the car and he said I had left a scent, bought his assistant hot drinks and roasted sweet potatoes in the rain after she said she wasn't feeling well. Seeing that I didn't seem to be joking, my husband glanced at my pregnant belly. "Don't say I didn't warn you. If we get divorced, you and the baby in your belly will definitely not have an easy time." I smiled and said nothing. I don't even want him anymore. How could I possibly keep his child? Going out, I encountered a heavy rain, and the ride-hailing app showed that there were still over 100 people waiting ahead of me. With no other choice, I called Bo Xiaobai, who had been giving me the cold shoulder for 3 days, and asked him to take me home after work. He arrived quickly, but his assistant was sitting in the passenger seat. "Sister Ran, I'm sorry, President Bo said the rain is too heavy and he's worried about me going home alone, or should I sit in the back?" Just as she touched the door handle, she heard Bo Xiaobai say coldly, "Just sit tight, don't mind her." Zhou Zian stuck out her tongue, with an apologetic expression on her face, but her eyes were full of provocation. I supported my 6-month pregnant belly and carefully got into the car. But before I could sit down properly, the car started. My belly hit the front seat, I cried out in fright, and the baby in my womb moved restlessly. Before I could complain, I heard Bo Xiaobai mutter softly, "Is it that serious?" "So dramatic." Zhou Zian laughed. Then she covered her mouth and exchanged a smile with Bo Xiaobai. A strange feeling welled up in my heart, but before I could think about it, I heard the two of them in the front discussing the next day's itinerary. Outside the car window, dense rain fell. I couldn't see the outside clearly, and could only judge how far away from home I was based on my memory. When it was time to turn, I noticed that Bo Xiaoyan didn't turn on the turn signal, so I reminded him, "Aren't you going to drop off little Zhou? Just drop me off at the entrance of the complex. The security guard there has spare umbrellas, and even if I get a little wet, I can just take a hot shower when I get back and be fine." Bo Xiaobai glanced at me in the rearview mirror and said unhurriedly, "There are a lot of cars on the road right now, who knows what time it will be when I drop off Yan Yan. I don't want to work hard all day and then be blocked by you when I get home asking where the perfume smell on me came from." The sarcasm was too obvious. I knew Bo Xiaobai was thinking about the fight he and I had 3 months ago. This pregnancy didn't come easily. So even though I quit my job to stay home and rest for the sake of the child, even though I had severe morning sickness, as long as I thought about how in a few months, a child belonging to me and Bo Xiaobai would be born, I was willing to endure it all. The days of pregnancy were not so comfortable. I endured my mother-in-law's taunts, while worrying that I might become disconnected from society because of childbirth. And Bo Xiaobai, on the day when my mother-in-law and I quarreled over a trivial matter, came home with a strong smell of perfume. After noticing that my face looked wrong, Bo Xiaobai took the initiative to explain that the scent on him was Zhou Zian's. Because she had sprained her foot, and in order to take her to the hospital, the two had a few minutes of physical contact. A woman's intuition is indeed wonderful. Before that, I had seen Zhou Zian's name in the company's group chat. A young girl who had just graduated, sweet-talking and with high emotional intelligence. She had only been with the company for a few days and was already joking around with many of the older employees in the group. I originally liked her quite a bit. But that was on the premise that she wasn't Bo Xiaobai's assistant. It's not that I'm possessive, I just don't understand. Bo Xiaobai, who always pursued efficient work and professionalism. Why would he keep a young girl who studied art by his side? And keep it a secret from me, not letting me know. Due to the special nature of the industry, the assistants who followed Bo Xiaobai were all older employees who had worked in the company for several years. Without exception, they were all men. It's not that Bo Xiaobai knew how to avoid suspicion. But after experiencing several female assistants accidentally spilling coffee on him while also getting a few drops on the contract, he was furious and spoke to the Human Resources Department. Women were not allowed to be among those who frequently worked by his side. That day, I simply asked why he was being special towards Zhou Ziyan. Bo Xiaobai's face darkened, and he yelled at me. My mother-in-law also chimed in, saying that I was too comfortable and was just looking for trouble. In fact, I had never said anything about the previous questions about the perfume scent on Bo Xiaobai. But today, several months later, I was inexplicably being ridiculed by Bo Xiaobai. I laughed out of anger. Boss! How can you say that to Sister Ran? Pregnancy is hard. Zhou Ziyan lightly tapped Bo Xiaobai's arm. He, who usually didn't show much expression in front of outsiders, didn't even get angry. Instead, he softly echoed, "You're right," I spoke without thinking. While they were talking, the car had already driven 2 intersections ahead. It wasn't impossible for me to get out of the car, if I insisted. But the road was slippery in the rain, and I couldn't take my anger out on the baby in my belly. The car was a bit stuffy, and the emotional ups and downs caused the baby in my belly to kick me in dissatisfaction. I opened a crack in the car window, wanting to breathe some fresh air. Who knew that before I could even catch my breath, Zhou Ziyan in the front seat said, "Geez. It's cold." Zhou Ziyan, wearing shorts in the passenger seat with the car's AC on, was right in front of an air vent. Before I opened the window, she hadn't reacted at all. I even saw her fanning herself. I only cracked the window a bit, so why did she suddenly feel cold? I didn't believe Bo Xiaobai couldn't tell she was doing it on purpose. But he just glared at me warningly in the rearview mirror. "It's raining so hard outside, why are you opening the window? Are you going to wash the car if it gets dirty?" Not to mention that Bo Xiaobai's car is always sent to the car wash by his assistant. How dirty could it get from a little rain? The truth was, he was just protecting Zhou Ziyan. "It's a bit stuffy in here, I can't breathe." Hearing my words, Bo Xiaobai didn't say anything, but his expression revealed his dissatisfaction. I had called Bo Xiaobai for help, hoping to reconcile with him. Now it seemed that even walking home in the rain would be better than this situation. "Why are you so grumpy? Pregnant women are naturally more sensitive to heat than normal people, can't you be a little considerate?" Bo Xiaobai didn't seem to find anything wrong with these somewhat inappropriate words, but instead immediately softened his expression. He even freed his right hand to rub Zhou Ziyan's hair. "I'm sorry. I shouldn't have gotten angry in front of you. Were you scared this time?" The two of them then started talking about funny things that happened at work. For a moment, I actually felt like I was superfluous sitting in the back seat. "Sister Ran, it's still a long way to my house. Are you hungry? I have some small bread in my bag, have a couple." As she spoke, Zhou Ziyan threw 2 at me. The words of refusal were blocked back. Seeing Zhou Ziyan tear open the package and prepare to eat, I quickly said, "Don't, he doesn't like." Before I could finish, Zhou Ziyan skillfully threw the wrapper into the ashtray next to her. And Bo Xiaobai, who I thought would show displeasure, didn't even look, but instead said gently to Zhou Ziyan, "Eat slowly, no one's going to snatch it from you." Seeing Bo Xiaobai's different attitude when facing another woman with my own eyes, my heart felt like it had been kneaded by a large hand. I clenched the small bread, not noticing that the packaging was constantly rustling. Bo Xiaobai is very particular about cleanliness and hates the smell of food in his bedroom, office, and car the most. For 4 years of dating and 5 years of marriage, I had never broken his rules. The argument 3 days ago was also for a simple reason. On the way back from my parents' house, I bought a cup of lemonade because I was thirsty. I thought that the fresh and unobtrusive scent of lemon wouldn't make Bo Shobai feel dissatisfied. But as soon as I took a sip, Bo Shobai suddenly stopped the car by the side of the road. "We'll be home in just over 10 minutes, are you so thirsty? Do you have to drink this crap in my car?" Faced with his sudden outburst, I was stunned and wronged, and tears fell down. Bo Shobai frowned and scolded sternly, "Stop using the pregnancy as an excuse. I haven't seen any pregnant woman as greedy and fussy as you. I'm already exhausted from working all day to earn money, can you please not annoy me? The hormones are acting up." I can't help but think about his impatience towards me, and his tolerance towards Zhou Ziyan. Tears welled up again. I don't want to be laughed at. I pressed myself against the car door, rubbed my face hard a few times, and took a few deep breaths before adjusting my mood. "Sister Ran, why aren't you eating? These are all big brands I bought online, and the ingredient lists are all clean." Before I could say anything, Bo Shobai scoffed, "Don't mind her, when she's hungry, she'd eat anything. The reason she isn't eating is because she stuffed herself at the mall." Looking at Bo Shobai's profile from the back seat, I was momentarily lost. How did he become like this? The boy who stood in front of me when rumors were spread about me. The man who once said he would take care of me for the rest of my life. Why can he use such a disgusted tone to belittle me in front of an outsider? I was lost in my own thoughts, feeling the car stop and go. Bo Shobai and Zhou Ziyan's voices came in and out of my ears. But I didn't pay any attention to what they were talking about. I only knew that the two of them would burst into laughter from time to time, like a couple in love. The car stopped again. Seeing Bo Shobai unbuckle his seatbelt and get out of the car, I thought we had arrived at Zhou Ziyan's house. Unexpectedly, Zhou Ziyan was still sitting in the passenger seat. After Bo Shobai closed the door and walked away, she turned to look at me. "Sister Ran, when you were dating Boss, did he take care of you like this too?" Seeing the confusion on my face, Zhou Ziyan explained why Bo Shobai got out of the car in the rain. "I have my period, and Boss saw me holding my stomach, but he didn't say anything. He saw a baked sweet potato shop next door, and said he'd buy me something hot to eat to warm my stomach." The shyness on Zhou Ziyan's face couldn't be hidden. I wanted to say how attentive Bo Shobai was to me when we were dating. He knew my period better than I did. Whenever my period was about to come, Bo Shobai would pay special attention to my diet. So after we got together, the menstrual pain that had tormented me for many years never appeared again. But I haven't seen that Bo Shobai who cared so much about me in a long time. Whether intentional or unintentional, Zhou Ziyan talked about how well Bo Shobai took care of her at the company. My chest was aching with unknown emotions. I had to restrain myself in order not to show any abnormality in front of Zhou Ziyan. When Bo Shobai got into the car, his clothes were soaked. But he didn't care at all. He took out a hot drink and a baked sweet potato that hadn't gotten wet from the bag and handed them to Zhou Ziyan. "Eat it while it's hot. The hot drink is specially made by the owner. I forgot what it's called, but the owner said it's very effective when you're not feeling well." Zhou Ziyan took it with a smile, and then divided the sweet potato in half and handed it to me. "Sister Ran, this sweet potato is too big, I can't finish it by myself, have some too." I subconsciously glanced at Bo Shobai. He noticed and looked at me with a puzzled expression. "Why are you looking at me? Just eat if you want to. There are no outsiders here. No need to suppress your appetite." After saying that, he exchanged a glance with Zhou Ziyan, and then the two of them burst into laughter. I tugged at the corners of my stiff lips and shook my head at Zhou Ziyan. "You eat it. I don't like sweet potatoes. They make me nauseous." Ignoring Bo Shobai's questioning gaze, I leaned against the car door, my mind in a complete mess. Rejected. Zhou Zian, on the other hand, stuffed the half-eaten sweet potato into Bo Xiubai's arms. Eat it quickly. Roasted sweet potatoes taste best when they're hot. Immediately after, I saw Bo Xiubai, who had scolded me for polluting the air in his car with a single sip of lemonade. Eating a roasted sweet potato, whose smell was 1,000 times stronger than lemonade. So his principles could be broken. It's just that the person couldn't be me. More than half an hour later, Zhou Zian's home arrived. Bo Xiubai left a sentence, "Wait for me in the car," and held up an umbrella to escort Zhou Zian into the unit door. In the rain, they stood, one at the entrance and the other holding an umbrella in the rain. Although it was nearly an hour's drive, the two of them never stopped talking. Yet, I could see their reluctance to part. After saying something, Bo Xiubai ruffled Zhou Zian's hair again, then turned around and said goodbye to her. When Bo Xiubai got into the car, my gaze was still fixed on the spot where they had just stood. He was putting away his umbrella as he casually said, "I just confirmed with her again what to bring to the meeting tomorrow. We didn't talk about anything personal. Don't overthink it." Ignoring the strangeness in his tone, I turned my head and asked, "Is the roasted sweet potato delicious?" Bo Xiubai looked at me in the rearview mirror with a puzzled expression. "Roasted sweet potato? What? Don't tell me you want to eat it now. Let me state in advance, the owner of that shop has already closed up because of the heavy rain." I didn't answer his question, but slowed down my tone and said, word by word, "I'm asking you, is the roasted sweet potato delicious?" Bo Xiubai finally noticed that something was wrong with me, and met my gaze without dodging for a long time. Suddenly, he chuckled. "Ran Qing, are you serious? You're upset because I bought Zhou Zian a roasted sweet potato? As a woman, have you forgotten how uncomfortable you were when you had period cramps? It's pouring rain, and the little girl isn't wearing much. What's wrong with me buying a roasted sweet potato?" After 3 consecutive rhetorical questions, my voice was a little choked when I spoke again. "Are your principles targeted at me?" Bo Xiubai showed a puzzled expression again, mixed with the helplessness that I was being unreasonable again. "Because I was thirsty and took a sip of lemonade, you said I was greedy and pretentious and polluted the air in your car. How come Zhou Zian can eat small bread and roasted sweet potatoes?" Bo Xiubai's expression froze. After a long while, he handed me a piece of paper, his tone stammering, "Ugh, I just wasn't thinking that much. You don't know, Yan Yan has low blood sugar, she needs to eat something when she feels hungry, or she'll faint. From now on, I won't restrict where you eat. If you want to eat river snail rice noodles in the bedroom, or barbecue in the car, I won't say anything anymore, is that okay?" I never thought that one day my freedom to eat would depend on another woman. The emotions I'd been holding back all the way finally collapsed, and tears kept falling uncontrollably. Bo Xiubai probably knew he was in the wrong, and rarely didn't look impatient. Seeing that I couldn't calm down for a while, he started the car and slowly turned around. "You must be hungry, right? The evening rush hour is over, it will be faster on the way back. Don't you always want to order takeout? Take my phone, see what you want to eat, order a lot, don't let our baby get hungry." After the morning sickness ended, I really wanted to eat everything. But I was afraid that the baby would be too big and difficult to deliver, and I was also afraid that eating too much would make it difficult to recover after giving birth, so I always restrained myself. Usually, I would quarrel with Bo Xiubai. As long as he calmed down and knew it was his problem. He would just buy something to eat, and I would let it go. But this time, I suddenly felt so bored. On the way back, Bo Xiubai tried to start a conversation several times. Finding that I wasn't responding, he also quieted down and focused on driving. There was a lot of standing water on the road, and by the time we got home, it was already dark. As soon as we entered the door, Bo Xiubai and I spoke at the same time. "You didn't order takeout, did you? What do you want to eat?" Can I cook some noodles? Let's get divorced. Bo Xiubai thought he had misheard. He rubbed his temples and said tiredly, "What did you just say?" "I think I misheard." "You didn't mishear. I said, let's get divorced." Bo Xiubai widened his eyes in disbelief. "Don't tell me it's just because of that baked sweet potato." The idea of divorce didn't come up suddenly. When Bo Xiubai and I had been married for many years and still didn't have children, and I was scolded by my mother-in-law as a hen that can't lay eggs, I thought about it. When I resigned and went home to take care of the fetus, and my mother-in-law came to the door every now and then, saying that I was squeamish and taking myself too seriously, I thought about it. When my mother-in-law told the surrounding neighbors that I was supported by Bo Xiubai and had no skills except for my face, I thought about it. Every time the idea of divorce came up, I quickly talked myself out of it. Because the one who lived with me was Bo Xiubai, not his mother. I shouldn't take it out on him. Bo Xiubai didn't have any problems in principle. He went home as soon as he got off work, and he never set any defenses on his phone against me. Knowing that his mother liked to find fault, he would try to ease the relationship between us whenever he had the chance. He said good things about me in front of his mother, and told her not to suddenly appear in our small home for no reason. I knew that the company was in an important stage of development, and he was under a lot of work pressure. So, occasionally, when Bo Xiubai brought his work emotions home and quarreled with me over some trivial matters, I didn't take it to heart. I would never hold on to bad moods until the next day. But Bo Xiubai could always figure out what went wrong afterward and would take the initiative to apologize to me. That kind of him. That kind of Bo Xiubai, wealthy, family-oriented, and able to recognize his own problems, I never thought I would actually leave him. But today, in just the past 2 hours, I seem to have seen another Bo Xiubai. One whose principles could be broken. Extremely patient. Even after a day of important meetings, with exhaustion in his eyes, he could still chat and laugh with people. It's just that the person who brought out that other side of him wasn't me. On the way back, besides thinking about our relationship, I was also looking at the company's chat group. After resigning from my position, to avoid suspicion, I only kept this group chat where everyone usually relaxed and chatted. Occasionally, when I remembered, I would click in and take a look, observing what everyone was interested in, so that the administrative department could arrange it during holidays. Because of the prenatal classes and the onset of sleepiness, I hadn't looked closely at the content inside for a long time. I didn't expect that a whim would allow me to see how Zhou Ziyan and Bo Xiubai interacted at the company. Bo Xiubai and I almost never appeared together at the company. In addition, in this group chat, the old employees rarely spoke, so the employees who had just joined the company spoke without any restraint. They said that Zhou Ziyan and Bo Xiubai looked like a good match. Let her work hard to drive away the boss's wife and take her place. They said that Bo Xiubai had been matching his clothes with Zhou Ziyan's for half a month in a row. Did the two of them discuss it and wear couples' outfits to the company together? They said that Zhou Ziyan was Bo Xiubai's special case. She was the only female assistant, and she could eat snacks in Bo Xiubai's office and take a nap in Bo Xiubai's lounge. They said that Zhou Ziyan was lucky to meet such a good boss as Bo Xiubai after graduation. Just because a partner accidentally touched her hand, Bo Xiubai was furious and cancelled our 6-year cooperation. I did have an emotional breakdown because of a roasted sweet potato. But after calming down, it was Bo Xiubai's special treatment of Zhou Ziyan that made me make this decision. 2 years ago, because I stayed up several nights in a row, I wanted to lie down in your lounge for a while. You refused on the grounds that I hadn't changed my clothes for 2 days and the shower in the lounge was broken. A year ago, because I entered your office with a refreshing candy, you scolded me in front of several department heads for finding the smell disgusting and criticized the report I had worked on overnight to the point of worthlessness. I used to feel wronged because you were too strict with public and private matters, but over time, I got used to it, and I thought you treated everyone equally, which was fine. But the fact proves that your principles can actually be ignored, but the person who can break them is not me. Bo Xiaobai tried to interrupt me several times, but he didn't say anything until I finished. After a while, after I sat down on the sofa, Bo Xiaobai said, "Didn't they say pregnancy makes you stupid for 3 years? How do you remember the past so clearly?" He gave a wry smile, wiped his face, and sat down beside me. "I don't know how to explain it, but I can guarantee you, Zhou Ziyan and I are innocent." I believe that. You can tell just by seeing them. Their current state is completely like a young couple who just got together. Even without physical contact, just talking makes them happy for a long time. But, innocent doesn't mean he hasn't been tempted. Hearing my words, Bo Xiaobai closed his eyes. I admit, my heart has strayed a bit, but I never thought of anything with her. Our child is about to be born. The person I love is you. I also have a form of fastidiousness. Unlike Bo Xiaobai, I have emotional fastidiousness. I can't accept another woman appearing in my lover's heart. So hearing Bo Xiaobai's almost confession, I said lightly, "Let's get a divorce. I feel disgusted just looking at you now." Bo Xiaobai was amused. He laughed for a long time, then looked at my protruding pregnant belly and said, "Have you considered the child? Don't blame me for not reminding you. If we divorce, your life and the child's life will definitely not be better than they are now. He doesn't need to worry about that. I had already made a decision on the way back. Let's get a divorce. We have a prenuptial agreement. If there are no objections, let's do it according to that, and go to the Civil Affairs Bureau first thing tomorrow morning." Seeing my serious expression, not like I was just saying it out of anger, Bo Xiaobai's face slowly darkened. "Ran Qing, there's no turning back once you release the arrow. I hope you don't regret it. You know, once I make a decision, I never look back." I nodded and went to the safe in the study to take out the prenuptial agreement we signed back then. I also found a divorce agreement template online, printed it out, and signed my name. When I came out of the study with the 2 documents, Bo Xiaobai was sitting on the sofa smoking. After I got pregnant, there was no longer the smell of smoke on him. Seeing me frown, he twitched the corners of his mouth. "We're getting divorced anyway. I should at least have the freedom to smoke, right?" I nodded indifferently, handed him the documents and a pen, gesturing for him to sign. Bo Xiaobai stared at me for a long time, until the heat from the cigarette burned his fingers before he came back to his senses. 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, see you at the Civil Affairs Bureau." After saying that, Bo Xiaobai threw the pen down and walked straight out the door. The next morning, I met Bo Xiaobai, who had dark circles under his eyes, at the entrance of the Civil Affairs Bureau. Before entering, he hesitated several times, but in the end, he didn't say anything. "We can get the divorce certificate in a month." After coming out of the Civil Affairs Bureau, Bo Xiaobai seemed a little relieved. "There are still 30 days. During this time, I'll give you a chance to regret it." I looked at him seriously and replied, "I won't regret it." After saying that, I ignored Bo Xiaobai's darkening face and turned to leave. I went to the hospital to schedule an induced labor. Afraid that my parents would worry, I didn't tell anyone and planned to tell them after the procedure. Someone took pictures of Bo Xiaobai and me going in and out of the Civil Affairs Bureau and posted them in the company's group chat. On the way home, the group chat was lively, with only a few people asking why we suddenly got divorced. The others were all tagging Zhou Ziyan, urging her to hurry up and win Bo Xiaobai over. And Zhou Ziyan, who rarely spoke in the group recently, dropped a photo into the group during lunch break. It was her on tiptoes, hugging Bo Xiaobai's neck for a kiss. Although Bo Xiaobai in the photo didn't do anything, he didn't refuse either. Immediately after, a follow-up video was posted in the group. Although it was only 30 seconds long, it was clear that Zhou Ziyan was the one who took the initiative at first. But before long, Bo Xiaobai took control. I saved the video and photos to my album. When I looked again, the photos and videos had already been withdrawn. And Zhou Ziyan said, trying to cover up, "Send it to the wrong place, everyone, please pretend you didn't see it." Because of Bo Xiaobai's special treatment of Zhou Ziyan and Zhou Ziyan's ability to coax people, the people who often spoke in this group liked her very much. So as soon as these words came out, many people started to pretend to be silly and echoed, "Didn't see anything, what was posted just now? Too bad I missed it, please send it again. I want to see it too. Aw." There were also a few who said in the group, "Do you guys have any morals? Isn't this knowingly being a third party?" Exactly. Ran is the one who applied for your benefits, aren't you biting the hand that feeds you? But these few people were quickly found by the administrator and kicked out of the group. At this time, someone asked in the group, "There are over 100 people in the group, do you think that person is here?" As soon as these words came out, no one sent a message for a long time. After a while, Zhou Ziyan said, "What's there to be afraid of, I'm upright and honest." I watched the number of people in the group slowly drop from 136. Those who quit were basically old employees who had been with the company for several years. They rarely spoke in this group. Finally, the number settled at 52. In addition to the 50 new employees and interns who joined this year, the remaining 2 are me and Bo Xiaobai. I created the group. I never thought that one day I would become the subject of discussion in the group. Seeing that the number of people was no longer changing, and that no one sent a message after people dropped out, I directly disbanded the group. Perhaps knowing that I was pregnant, none of the old employees brought up what happened in the group to me. Only a few hinted at me, telling me to pay attention and not be deceived by a scumbag. Seeing the worry they wanted to express but didn't dare to, I smiled. Fortunately, they proved that I wasn't a terrible person. Otherwise, I would have really felt like I had lived these years in vain. But the smile on my face disappeared the moment I saw Bo Xiaobai's mother standing at the door. "What's with that expression? It's so hot, why aren't you staying home? If you get sick from the heat, Xiaobai will have to take you to the hospital again." Since the 3rd month of our marriage, Zhao Wan has criticized me from head to toe every time she sees me. Before, I was considerate of her being Bo Xiaobai's mother. And for the sake of family stability, I always tolerated it. I rarely argued with her. But now, I'm already divorced from Bo Xiaobai, how could I possibly still be willing to put up with her? Stop coming to find fault with me for no reason. Your son and I are getting divorced, this house belongs to me, don't come here anymore. I don't know where Bo Xiaobai stayed last night. But knowing his personality, he definitely wouldn't have told his mother about the divorce. Sure enough, when she heard me say divorce, Zhao Wan was stunned for a few seconds, and then began to curse at me, "What's with your attitude? This is my son's house, I can come whenever I want. And who said this house belongs to you?" "I don't agree." Zhao Wan grew up in the countryside and has an unusually loud voice. Seeing that the surrounding neighbors were attracted by the content of her words, and afraid of losing face, I bypassed her and opened the door. Just as I was about to close the door, Zhao Wan squeezed in. "Ran Qing. I knew you were up to no good. What, you see my son making a lot of money, and you want to get divorced and take away his property? Dream on." If I hadn't dodged quickly, Zhao Wan's saliva would have splattered on my face. Seeing my disgusted expression, Zhao Wan was even more displeased. She pushed the door open and shouted to the outside with all her might, "Come quickly. The daughter-in-law dislikes me, her mother-in-law, and won't even let me in the house. Come quickly. The daughter-in-law has hooked up with a wild man outside and wants to cheat my son out of his money." Seeing her saying more and more outrageous things, I directly called the police. As soon as I said the address, Zhao Wan pounced on me. "I'll beat you to death, you cheap slut. You want to call the police and arrest me? I'll kill you." Some neighbors nearby, seeing that Zhao Wan was really going to attack a pregnant woman, quickly stepped forward to stop her. But the other person was older than Zhao Wan and looked like an old lady who had lived a good life. How could she be a match for Zhao Wan's strength? If the people behind hadn't arrived in time, that old lady would have fallen to the ground because of Zhao Wan's actions. And it was precisely because I was distracted and glanced at the old lady's situation. Zhao Wan found a chance to jump in front of me. In the scuffle, Zhao Wan grabbed my hair. Ignoring my pregnant belly, she pushed me to the ground with force. The police station was not far from the neighborhood, so when the police arrived, they saw Zhao Wan riding on me, ready to hit me. "Stop! Didn't you see she's pregnant?" Zhao Wan was forcibly dragged away by the police. And then she started cursing under her breath. What kind of woman gets a divorce while pregnant? The thing in her belly must be a bastard. I'm going to beat her to death. How dare she cuckold my son? If the people next to me hadn't reminded me, I wouldn't have noticed the strange warmth beneath me. Looking at the white dress stained red with blood, I suddenly laughed. In front of everyone, I said to Zhao Wan, "You and your son are truly a family. When something goes wrong, you never know to look for the cause in yourselves." Zhao Wan was taken away by the police. And I was taken to the hospital by a kind person. On the way to the hospital, I made a special call to Bo Xiubai. For some reason, the police hadn't contacted him yet, so as soon as the call connected, I heard Bo Xiubai say mockingly, "What, regretting it so soon?" The hospital wasn't far from the company, so Bo Xiubai and I arrived at the hospital almost at the same time. I asked him to lower his head and come closer, and then, while he wasn't paying attention, I forcefully pulled out a tuft of his hair and handed it to the nurse next to me. Immediately afterwards, I was wheeled into the operating room under Bo Xiubai's bewildered gaze. Before the operating room doors closed, I heard Bo Xiubai, who had finally come to his senses, anxiously asking the nurse what was wrong with me. Why there was so much blood on the bed. I didn't hear what the nurse said to him. An induced labor is like giving birth all over again. When I was wheeled out of the operating room, I was covered in sweat. The nurse said that Bo Xiubai received a call and left in a hurry. I knew he had gone to the police station, so I didn't take it to heart. Elective abortion and termination of pregnancy due to an accident are two different concepts. I thought I wouldn't be sad. But when I saw the incubator placed in the corner, my eyes turned red in an instant. My parents arrived after receiving my call. Seeing me lying pale on the bed, my mother burst into tears. My father, who never showed his emotions, also had red eyes and couldn't speak for a long time. I adjusted my emotions. I tried my best to use a calm tone to tell them what happened yesterday, and my decision to divorce Bo Xiubai. And that I originally wanted to have an abortion, but I didn't expect Zhao Wan to cause such a thing. Hearing me repeat Zhao Wan's words, my father was so angry that he cursed. If my mother hadn't stopped him, I think he would have rushed to the police station immediately. "Chinger, do whatever you want. It's your parents' fault for not caring enough about you. Otherwise, how could that mother and son bully you like this? My parents are both researchers and like to be in the lab when they have nothing to do." Influenced by them, I also studied a related major in college. But because Bo Xiubai wanted to start his own business, I gave up my valuable research qualification and accompanied him. I thought that my efforts were seen by Bo Xiubai. He would love only me for the rest of his life, as he promised at the wedding. I was naive. My father, who had calmed down, held my hand and asked, "What do you plan to do about Zhao Wan?" "If possible, I'll ask someone to make her suffer a bit inside." My father has always been devoted to academics and hates using connections, but he's actually willing to make an exception for me. Seeing that I wanted to refuse, my father put a little more force on his hand. Don't overthink it, it's just a phone call. I've dedicated my life to the country, and now that my precious daughter is being bullied, I should at least have the right to ask for things to be handled impartially. Seeing that my father didn't plan to use his privilege, I tacitly approved of the phone call. Meanwhile, on the other side, Bo Xiubai, who had just paid the bail and wanted to take Zhao Wan away, saw the police officer in charge receive a phone call and then returned the money to him. Sorry, your mother can't leave yet, unless the other party chooses to reconcile now. When Bo Xiubai arrived at the hospital, my parents were still there. As soon as he entered the door, my mother stepped forward and slapped him. Bo Xiubai was surprised, but he didn't dodge. Chinger, I know my mother was out of line today, but she's old after all. How about we reconcile? I'll have her come to the hospital to apologize to you. Hearing this, my father kicked Bo Xiubai to the ground. When he fell, he happened to hit the thermal box placed against the wall. The lid was knocked off, and the smell of blood instantly filled the entire ward. That is. Having only said 2 words, my mother, realizing what it was, started crying with a wah sound. And Bo Xiubai just stared blankly at the formed male fetus in the box, not making any further movements for a long time. Your mother said that no woman would file for divorce while pregnant, so she said in front of many people that the child in my stomach was a bastard. Hearing my voice, Bo Xiubai turned his head blankly, just in time to see me pull out a report from under the pillow. Remember when I pulled a few strands of hair from your head before I went into surgery? This is a paternity test report, remember to take it and show it to your mother. Bo Xiubai took it and glanced at it. The probability on it made him tremble all over, and soon, the sound of his sobbing could be heard. I knew you were pregnant with my child, I never doubted it. Chinger, I'm sorry. Having said everything that needed to be said, seeing me close my eyes, my father stepped forward, pulled Bo Xiubai up, and pushed him out of the ward. Go, besides getting the divorce certificate in 30 days, remember to put Chinger's share of the property in her name, I'll have someone watching you. My parents, who hadn't taken a vacation for many years, took more than a month off because I was hospitalized. They accompanied me to recuperate, helped clear out Bo Xiubai's things. They tried to make me happy in every way possible and never mentioned the lost child in front of me. On the day I was discharged from the hospital, Bo Xiubai stood there in the distance. He wanted to step forward, but was forced back by my father's gaze. Because the property hadn't been divided yet. So I still had Bo Xiubai's contact information. He had been sending me messages these days. More than he had sent in the past month combined. But I never replied once. My mother took me home to do postpartum care. That day, my mother tentatively asked me if I would be willing to stay in the lab with her and my father for the long term. Almost without hesitation, I nodded, yes, as long as you don't mind my low education, I'm willing to go. My father, who was pretending to watch TV in the living room, immediately ran in upon hearing this. Who dares to dislike your low education? Once you've rested, start studying. Get a doctorate first, and your mother and I will personally mentor you. The fact that I resolutely started a business with Bo Xiubai also had a very important reason. I felt that my qualifications were too poor compared to my parents. I was afraid that being around a group of big shots all year round would crush my IQ. But after this experience, I began to envy my parents' simple working environment. Perhaps the laboratory is where I truly belong. Zhao Wan, who had been clamoring ever since she was locked up in the police station, suddenly became honest after Bo Xiubai reappeared. Later, my father inquired about it. It turned out that Bo Xiubai had taken the stillborn fetus and paternity test report to her. He told Zhao Wan that she had personally killed her own grandson. Bo Xiubai arrived earlier than me on the day we got our divorce certificate. He forced a smile as soon as he saw me. Seeing that I didn't react, he lowered his head again. Bo Xiubai gave me more money than expected. He didn't mention why, but I guessed it had something to do with the child. Getting the certificate was faster than I imagined. After getting it, I suddenly felt an unprecedented sense of relief. Chinger, have you been well these days? Your parents wouldn't let me see you, and you wouldn't answer my calls. I was very worried about you. I put the divorce certificate in my bag and looked at Bo Xiaobai seriously, saying, "Without your mother causing trouble, I'm living a very comfortable life." Bo Xiaobai smiled bitterly and said in a low voice, "I originally thought that you would get over your anger and that we wouldn't really get divorced, but it turned out to be because of my mother." Bo Xiaobai paused, took a deep breath, and said, "I was planning to win you back after your anger subsided. It's really unpredictable." Looking at the stiff smile on Bo Xiaobai's face, I took out my phone and found the photos and videos I had saved a month ago. "Didn't you kiss Zhou Zian the day after we registered? Don't you think you're being fake by saying this now?" Bo Xiaobai's face turned pale. After a long while, he murmured, "You definitely won't believe anything I say now. I was just temporarily blinded. I knew someone was taking pictures, and I thought, what if you saw the photos and got jealous, regretted it?" As he spoke, his voice became a little tearful. "The truth is, I'm the one who regrets it. I really don't understand how things turned out this way." The car that came to pick me up honked its horn. Hearing the noise, I lost the desire to continue talking to Bo Xiaobai and turned to leave. "Chinger, will I ever see you again?" Hearing this, I paused, then said without turning my head, "There's no need for us to meet again." Because Zhao Wan's actions were the main factor that led to the loss of the child. In addition, my dad spoke up, demanding that things be handled officially and refusing any settlement. 2 months later, Zhao Wan was sentenced to the maximum of 10 years in court. My parents accompanied me, and we all attended the court hearing. I hadn't seen Zhao Wan for a while, and she looked much older. She didn't appeal after hearing that she would be imprisoned for 10 years. She kept her head down, not knowing what she was thinking. I didn't see Bo Xiaobai. It seems that, as I said, from the day we got our marriage certificate, we became strangers in the vast sea of people. However, former colleagues would occasionally send me news about Bo Xiaobai. Zhou Zian forced Bo Xiaobai to marry her. Bo Xiaobai refused and transferred her to the sales department. Accustomed to enjoying special treatment, she vented her frustrations on her colleagues as soon as she arrived in the sales department. But there were many long-term employees there, and no one would put up with her anger for no reason. Zhou Zian, treated as if she were invisible, couldn't stand the humiliation. She barged into the conference room while Bo Xiaobai was in the middle of negotiating a deal. She ruined a collaboration that the company had worked hard to secure. After being fired, Zhou Zian didn't stop there. She looked for various opportunities to corner Bo Xiaobai. When she couldn't see him, she spread rumors everywhere that Bo Xiaobai took advantage of her and didn't want to take responsibility. The company was greatly affected. Long-term employees resigned one after another. Exhausted, Bo Xiaobai suddenly went crazy when Zhou Zian blocked his car. He stepped on the gas and ran Zhou Zian over, leaving her in a vegetative state. That's when I learned why Bo Xiaobai wasn't present when Zhao Wan was sentenced. It turned out he was locked up too. Years later, the research project I participated in achieved great success. I finally found meaning in my life.